All right, everybody, it's almost time. Just about another minute or so, and we'll get started. Okay, hello everybody. It is 10 p.m. Eastern Time on a Friday night. We are just about ready to get started. Let me see. We're gonna switch the screen over here. Hold on a moment. Hey everybody. How you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. So let me turn down this music here. Hold on. We don't need the music anymore. Okay, there we go. All right, so we are now... Turn this off. Okay, we are now live. It is Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am your host, Shizusan, and my lovely assistant today is the very beautiful Carol Danvers, aka Supergirl. I mean, not Carol, Kara. Sorry, I get the mistaken sometimes. But we are here. It is a new episode of Beyond the Doll. This was supposed to air like 2 weeks ago, but I got sick. I'm feeling much better now, but I do have some refreshments on standby, just in case I need to wet my palate a little bit, because I'm feeling a lot better, but still kind of a little bit sick. So in the spirit of things, because Danny Chu has just released a special early release of Batgirl, I decided why not bring Supergirl out for today's episode of Beyond the Doll. So today we're going to be talking about a doll customization. Now, doll customization has so many topics to go over, so many different things. So today is just going to be a brief overview to get your palate wet. A little introduction to all different types of things that you can do with your dolls when you want to customize, or if you're going that route of customization to make them more of your own, so to speak. So even though, like, for example, I have Supergirl here, I could always change her clothes and make her a little bit more my own, change her wig, change a lot of things. So we're going to go over all the different things that you can change. We're going to go over, like, a couple places that you can check out, like, they're not really sponsored or paid by any of these people or any of these sites. It's just places that I personally use, and I would like to share with all of you to see, spread the love, basically. So we will get into all that stuff and all that once we get up and running on today's show. So before we get started, let's say hello to everybody that's here tonight. Guillermo Lopez Sanchez, hola, buenas noches, hola to you, and good evening. Jay Luisa is here. Hello, hey Jay Luisa, how are you doing? And I don't know how to say it. It's like my ding ding dong. How you doing? Very interesting name there. But yeah, so hello for those of you that are in chat, and then hello to all of you that are just watching, and not really like posting anything, but just watching or possibly watching at a later date. If you couldn't catch it live, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. So, like I said in previous episodes, Beyond the Doll is supposed to be a show where I get to basically just talk about all different kinds of things involving dolls and beyond. Hence why it's called Dolls Beyond the Doll. So today, we're not only going to speak about just the dolls themselves, but really it's more so the different things you can do with the dolls. Like, let's go over like a couple basics, right? So if you look at Supergirl here as an example, you could change her wig, you could change her eyes, you could change the makeup, which what they call in the hobby, they actually call it like a face up, is the, I guess, technical term or relative term that people like to use regarding that. You can change the clothing, you can change the bust size of these girls. And when I say clothing, I mean like everything, right? So you got the top, you got the bottoms, you can put stockings on the girl or not, and you can change the shoes if you were to so choose to do so. So a lot of those things are interchangeable, as well as even undergarments. You could always change the undergarments of these dolls as well. And there are a variety of different places that you can go to shop for these things. So let's talk about the dolls themselves, right? So if you have a doll of this nature, like a vinyl doll, usually around the scale of like 1/4 scale up to 1/3 scale, you have them mostly in vinyl. For the most part, they made out of vinyl. And I know we covered this in prior episodes, but just, to reiterate for those individuals that may be new to this channel and just tuning in. So they're usually made of vinyl. Some companies actually have them in plastic, some companies in resin. Really depends where you shop. But for my particular dolls that I like to talk to on this channel or talk about on this channel, I usually refer to like Smart Dolls or Dolphy Dreams. And I'm just delving into A-Zone International, which is also in affiliation with Obitsu, if you're familiar with Obitsu as well. And the majority of those dolls are pretty much all made out of vinyl for the most part. And they all have ball joints, which they are ball jointed dolls, but they also known as BJDs. So they do have that about them. So they are removable as they have an internal skeleton. So in doing so, you could change even the parts. So if you were to damage certain parts of your dolls, you could change their parts, like bust sizes. Like if that's not damaged, but you wanted your particular character to have a larger bust size or a smaller bust size. Let's say they come with a large normally, but you want to downgrade. Whatever you want to do, those bust sizes are readily available from the doll manufacturers themselves. So you can buy them from Volks international website or Volks USA. You can buy them from Smart Doll. You can buy them from A-Zone International or Obitsu, wherever your local shops carry those products. Like those bust sizes are changeable. Now, whether or not the one that you particularly want is in stock at the time that you are searching, that's a whole nother story. But the availability is there. There are also other companies out there that can change, or not can change, but do offer different bust sizes that you can buy for your dolls, if you don't have the one that you want from the actual company. A great example would be of a company called Adika Doll. It's Adyka. They have silicone busts that they create for dolls. Now, I know that it's mostly been marketed recently about Smart Dolls, but I believe you can also use the same bust for Dolphy Dream, but I could be wrong. It depends on what torso piece that you have as well. That would also dictate, which one that you would use. But for the most part, what I can remember is that it was mostly advertised for Smart Doll. Hey Haruhi, how you doing? Welcome to the show. So yeah, you have companies like that. There may be other companies that sell bust sizes, but I'm not entirely too familiar with all of them. But the option is out there. There are other things like if you were to damage your pieces of your dolls, like for a leg joint or an arm joint or something of that nature, there are companies that do offer replacement parts as well. I know that Volks with Dolphy Dreams, they usually do have extra bodies that you can buy, extra parts like shin parts, arm parts, hand parts, things of that nature that you can buy from them, either from their international website or their actual Volks USA website, if for those of you that are living in the United States. They also could sell those parts on their affiliate stores, which they call their friendship stores, that are scattered all throughout the world. But then other companies, like if you go to like Smart Doll, they usually only offer you like hand parts or bust parts. Normally you can't really buy like separate parts. Like let's say you damaged an arm or a leg or a foot, you can't really just buy those pieces separately. And that's just their philosophy over in their store. Now they do have a warranty policy, so like if you were to damage your doll or something were to happen within like a certain amount of time frame from when you purchased the doll, you could send them an email and maybe, you know, they would be able to help you out. It really depends on your situation, but they don't normally sell like separate parts like separately. There's a doll by Dulk I'm looking forward to buy, but they're made by resin and very pricey. What's the advantages or disadvantages of resin compared to soft vinyl? Yeah, resin is different than soft vinyl. I don't want to say it's porcelain, but like it's a much harder substance, and it's not really in my wheelhouse, so to speak. Like, I'm not very familiar with resin dolls. I know of them. I've seen them. I don't personally own one, so I don't want to, like, misspeak and give you some kind of advice that's really not true. So, but we are going to be doing, in future episodes, we are going to be doing a comparison of vinyl dolls versus resin dolls in the future. So do tune in later for that. But to answer your question right now, I do understand that Dulk is a company that I do frequent. I do like them, and they do offer resin dolls, but I can't really tell you what the advantages and disadvantages are right now because I do not know all of them for resin. I know specific things for like vinyl dolls, but resin not too familiar with. But we will go into that in a future episode. We'll talk about that. But going back to what I was saying with like Smart Doll, like if you want replacement parts, you know, you're pretty much just limited to bust sizes and hand parts. And like I said, Smart Doll does have a warranty policy, but you do have to take it up with them. If there were to be some kind of an issue, you'd have to talk it out with them. Other companies like Azone International, they do offer replacement parts and replacement bodies, but it's not as easy to find. Because you can't really buy directly from Azone, from my understanding. I'm still new to the whole Azone scene, but my understanding is that you have to buy it from like a third-party carrier. Like a seller like Ami Ami or Hobby Link Japan usually carries a lot of things from Azone International. And we'll actually talk about Azone International and buying stuff from them a little bit later in today's episode when we get to like clothing and accessories and things like that. But optional parts, that's pretty much what you're limited to. Now, there could be other areas or other places where you could buy optional parts, but I'm not familiar with them, so I'm not going to like falsely endorse something that I don't know. But these are the ones that I'm pretty much familiar with that I know a lot of you will probably be familiar with if you're already in the hobby. Let's see. Ding Dong says, cool, look forward to the comparison in the future. Yes, please do, because we will be covering that later. Hey, Colin Brinko, welcome to the stream. At least with resin, I don't think staining is an issue, which is nice. I've actually heard they can stain, but I don't know how easily or hard that actually happens. As I said, I'm not a resin connoisseur. I'm not really knowledgeable in everything resin, but I will be having an episode later on I think in like about next month, I think it might be, where I'm doing a comparison between resin and vinyl, and I will actually have a guest speaker on for that episode. So it'll be a very lively episode for that one, because since I'm not super knowledgeable with resin, I'm actually going to bring in another guest to speak on Beyond the Doll about resin dolls, and we're going to do some comparisons. So look forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Haruhi, yes, as long as it don't stress your doll too much by keeping on changing the clothes or parts too much for vinyl dolls, you'll be able to keep in good condition without breaking them. That does sound pretty good. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with resin dolls, but that sounds like a good advice there. Jay Louisa, I collect resin BJD. They can stain, but not as easily as vinyl. Yeah, that was my understanding too. Like my limited understanding, that is my understanding, is that they do stain as well. It's just not so easily stained. But that's pretty much everything for replacement parts, so to speak. Oh, actually, I did miss one thing. Like the heads. The heads of the dolls, actually, you can buy them separate. Especially if we're talking about, like, Dolphy Dream. If you go to Volks, they do have heads that you can purchase. Now, not every single head that you may be interested in will be sold separately. Like, for instance, like, customized dolls that are anime collaborations, those are pretty much heads that are only available when you buy that full doll set. They're never going to sell them separately. But they have numbered heads, which is numbered from DDH1 all the way up to, I think they're up to 27 now. Now, some of those heads may be limited to special things like a D-Chord line or Dream Choice line only. And then I believe Dolphy Dream heads 1 through 4 or 1 through 5 is actually discontinued, so finding those may be a little bit harder. You might have to get them third party, but heads is definitely something that you could purchase separately if you wanted to make a custom character. And if you're familiar with this channel and this show, we usually do a section at the end of the show called Dream Doll, where we get to hypothesize like a particular doll we want to see made and what kind of heads that could be used. So that's another thing that you can look out for. Jay Louisa says, oh, sorry, can't wait for episode. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a really informative episode when we do vinyl versus resin. It's going to be coming up in the future. So yeah, there's head option parts for Dolphy Dream is the thing. Smart Doll doesn't sell heads separately, so to speak. Like, it's not on their website where it says heads and you could just purchase them. Danny has something called like a chaos section. And in that section, what will happen is you'll get a choice between the different skin tones, and they're going to be all different kind of prices, and they're random. So you can get like a head pack, which is like a pack of, I think, 2 in each pack, and you get 2 random heads. And sometimes you get to choose what color, at least, what skin tone color, and sometimes you don't, and it's random. But you could try your hand at that. That's kind of like a little gotcha game kind of thing. So you could try your hand at that and getting those heads and see if it's one of the ones that you want. And if it's not one that you want, you could always trade with others or sell them, because that seems to be a big thing that's going on nowadays. But if you can also strive to get like one of the heads that are pre-painted, which is also random as well. So like you could choose like a cinnamon skin tone head or a cocoa skin tone head with a painted face, but that will come in at a random thing. You can't like specifically choose a certain character. So that is one way that is offered for that. I know that A-Zone International, they do have heads for sale, but I don't know the limitations on their heads, like what's available, what's not available, if it's for particular lines or not, because I've said it in many videos before that I'm still new to A-Zone, and when I do research on A-Zone has a lot of doll lines, from 1/12 scale all the way up to 1/3 scale, and there's lots of different sub categories from that. So it's really hard to get a handle on everything that they offer, as there's just so much. But I do know that spare heads are available to purchase. I just don't know the limitations on that as of yet. I'm still kind of fairly new to that. But that's pretty much everything in a nutshell when you want to talk about like optional parts, like doll parts for the doll themselves. So it's getting a little harder to hold Supergirl while I'm talking, so I'm going to put her off to the side. Hold on, guys. Alright, so I have her off to the side so I can like freely talk and move my hands. I don't know, I like to talk with my hands sometimes a lot, so alright, so that's everything when you want to talk about like customizing and getting optional parts, right? Now, if we go from head to toe, we'll start with the top, right? So then there's also doll wigs that are available. So you can change the look of your doll by changing their wigs. It's just one simple thing that you can do that's not way too intrusive or requires any kind of fine skills or anything like that. You pretty much just purchase any wig that you want, as long as it's the right wig for the head, and then it could drastically change the look of your doll with just the wig alone, whether it's the hairstyle is different, the length of the hair is different, or even just the color. It can drastically change the look of your doll just by that alone. Haru, he says, on my resin dolls is hard to get stain easily. You can use magic sponge to clean it, same as my porcelain dolls. Yeah, I heard about that too. Like with resin dolls, if you want to clean them, you can actually use a magic eraser and just kind of like rub on it. But I don't think that gets away all the stains, though. That's pretty much for like light staining, right, Haruhi? I think if it's like a real deep stain, you may not be able to get away with it by using a magic sponge. But that's my limited knowledge for resin dolls. But if you want to change wigs, you have to know at least like the different types of wigs that are out there. So if you go to different doll companies that sell wigs, there's all different kinds of sizes. I believe they measure them in inches. So like they usually measure them in like I guess circumference like around the doll's heads. For most of the parts you can use for smart dolls and Dolphy Dreams, you can mostly use, I believe it's 8 to 9 inch circumference for doll wigs. And even if you don't know the exact measurements for the doll wig that you want to buy, the majority of the companies will let you know in their description anyways. Like they'll say this fits DD for Dolphy Dream, or it fits SMD for Smart Doll, or it'll say SD13 for like Super Dolphy Dream 13, etc., etc., etc. Like so even if you don't know the exact number measurements of your doll's heads, for the most part, you can pretty much find them based upon what type of a doll you have too. So because most Dolphy Dreams head circumferences are pretty much all the same. Like they all fit that 8 to 9 inches size. Same thing with Smart Dolls. But Smart Dolls is a little bit like tight, I guess you could say. Especially if you get the wigs straight from Smart Doll, because they make those things like super snug, like so that it doesn't like slip or fall off the doll's heads. Whereas Dolphy Dream wigs, they do sit pretty snug, but it's not as tight as the Smart Doll wigs usually come from the stores. Colin Brinko says, I see, that's good to know. I would love to get the Super Dolphy Rapunzel, but she's so pretty. Love the Disney line Volks is doing. Very pricey. Yeah, the Disney line from Volks is super awesome. I love it. I haven't purchased one yet, mostly because I'm waiting for my favorite Disney princess to be available. It was a really hard sell, though, for Rapunzel. I wanted Rapunzel so bad, but I was like, I can't afford her if I'm gonna get like other dolls at the same time. So if I'm gonna get a resin doll, my first resin doll would probably be a Dolphy Dream princess, and if it would be a Belle, because I love Beauty and the Beast. I love Belle. It's my favorite character. So I am waiting for her to be released. But it's pretty interesting, at least for the Volks Disney Princess Girls, because they did have them released years ago as one-off specialty models, where like they like auction them off or something like that, where it was just really just one version of it. And I'm told that if you ever see them sold in the wild, like they go for a ridiculous amount of money because there was only one. And I guess people have been talking about it for so long, or the popularities of dolls have been growing or something, that Volks decided to actually release them in bigger quantities, and you can like reserve them now, which is pretty awesome. Jay Louisa says, I would love a Princess Jasmine or a Tiana princess doll from Volks. I mean, those are popular princesses from Disney, and more recent ones too. So, I mean, those dolls could be happening, just a matter of when. We just recently had the Frozen girls, so I don't know what's going to be coming next. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, so talking about wigs, yeah, the different kinds of wigs is pretty awesome. Now I want to give you an example, so I'm going to show you guys an example of different kinds of wigs. So I'm going to change the view here. Give me a second while I move some things around on my screen. 1 second. Need to move this over. I think that works. Oh no, hold on, restore. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna change screens so that you guys can see this a lot better now. Okay, so here's we're on Google here. I'm going to go to this one here. So this store is called Dallas Doll Co. If you're a Smart Doll fan, they've been pretty popular as of recently. Let me see if I can get to the main page, just so you guys can see. Is this the main page? Yeah, so if you go to the main page of Dallas Doll Co., you're going to see this. They're going to have options here on your left-hand side. Just choose this top one, which is Smart Doll Wigs. Now, the Smart Doll Wigs do fit on Dolphy Dream, so you could theoretically use it on there as well. So, and if you click on it, you're going to see all these different wigs come up. So, I mean, if you, for sake of example, if you were to look at, I don't know, I think this one here, right? I believe this one is Genesis, and you can see here, like, just the change of the doll wig of what it looks like really changes the look of the doll, just by changing the wig alone. Let me see, are there any other, like, more notable characters that... Like, I know, like, a lot of people know these characters. See, this is another one. I believe this is also Genesis, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see how, like, the wig color, the style of the wig, like, can really change the look of the doll. And they're not really all that, expensive. I mean, you can see the prices here, like $27. Sometimes they're on sale for like $20. And like I said before, I'm not paid or sponsored by Dallas Doll Co. I actually don't even own a Dallas Doll Co. wig. I've been meaning to buy one for the longest time. I've just been really hammering down on what I spend my money on as of late. So I haven't purchased one yet, but I do plan on purchasing sometime in the future, and I'll probably do a review of it at some point. But I do own like another doll company's wigs, which is Zazo Dolls. I did buy a Zazo doll wig, and it was actually quite similar to this one. Where is it? It's pretty much similar to this wig, but it was like shorter. It wasn't as long, and it fit my doll perfectly, and it came styled the right way, which I didn't really have to do much of anything to change the style. So there are many other doll companies. So aside from Dallas Doll Co., you have like companies like Zazo, you have companies like what's it called, Cotton Doll. There's so many companies that make doll wigs. You really all just have to like Google doll wigs, and you're gonna see like a whole bunch of different options. So let me change the view back to the regular view, and then I gotta move things around again. Sorry, the way my screen is set up, like I actually have to move things around just so I could see things properly. So yeah, I mean, doll wigs is an inexpensive way to change the look of your dolls. And if you're going for even a specific look, right? Like let's say you're making your own custom character, and they don't have the actual doll wig that 100% matches that character. What you could do is you could just buy a doll wig in the color that you want, in like let's say a longer length, and then you can cut it to whatever length you want, and style it to whatever your heart desires to make it fit the character that you're trying to create. I do have to warn you though, it's not as easy as it sounds. I actually tried it once. I bought like a doll wig, like a cheap one. Like I bought like a cheap one just to test it out because I didn't want to buy like a really nice one and then screw it up. So I kind of bought like a cheap one, and like, I dabbled with like cutting the hair and everything, and I totally butchered it. It's a good thing I bought like a cheap one because I am just not artistically inclined in that way to like kind of style things. But you can always, I believe there are people out there that are doll wig specialists that you can actually like purchase a wig and send it to them, and they will actually like style it for you and send it back. But I'm not 100% on that. I've never used those services before, but I do hear that they exist. Haruhi says, get it while it's still have in the Dolphy Dreams for the Disney dolls. It is limited edition, and the price is getting high on the website. My favorite Snow White. I even custom my Arl into her. Yeah, I will definitely jump on it when Belle is released. But that's pretty much it, I think, for now. Like, she's really the only one I want to buy in a Disney princess. There are other Disney princesses that I would like to buy, but I think Belle would be my number one. And she would probably be my only resin. There is one other resin I was thinking about owning a long time ago, which I tried to get when I was in Japan, but apparently I couldn't custom make her in Japan because it was only open for Japanese residents only. So that kind of sucked. But I definitely could get her anyways by having a proxy do it for me, but I'm not really that hardcore to get it like now. Like I can wait on that, but definitely when Belle is released, I'll definitely have to pre-order her or click war for her or whatever to get her. Hari says, nice wigs. I will take a look to get for my moment. Thank you for your recommendation. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not paid or sponsored by any of these companies that I will be showing you today. It's just places that I've heard from other people that are really good, or places that I purchased from myself. So that's just one different thing that you can do for your doll is wigs. It's a very inexpensive, easy thing to do, and it can drastically change the look of your doll. So let's move on to the next thing, starting from the head, is eyes. You can actually change the eyes of these dolls, especially if you have a Smart Doll or Dolphy Dream. You can easily change the eyes. Personally, I haven't changed any eyes for my girls as of yet. I have plans on doing it in the future. I just haven't done it yet because I'm satisfied with the way each and every one of my dolls look so far. I haven't had the need to want to change the eyes. I've purchased many eyes, and I have like a whole drawer full of different kind of eyes, which sounds kind of creepy if you think about it. But I have like a whole drawer full of different kinds of eyes that I will eventually get to changing for some of my dolls, especially dolls coming up in the future that I'm going to be receiving that I may change. But definitely with Dolphy Dream and Smart Dolls, you can change the eyes. A-Zone you can change as well, but it depends on what type of doll that you're getting. I believe the Iris Collect series, which is the 50 centimeter series, and the Iris and the Happy Clover, which is I think is the 45 centimeter series. I could be wrong on which series, but generally it's the 45 centimeter and the 50 centimeters. You can definitely change the eyes. They have eye chips that you could change out just like any other doll. But if you get other lines within A-Zone, like if you get like a Salt Lily or Pure Nemo or, you know, the Pico Nemo or anything of that nature, those eyes are actually painted on. So you could change them, but you would have to like essentially wipe off the painted eyes and then paint eyes, a new set of eyes on. Which, if you are artistically inclined more so than myself, you could just paint them on yourself if you're really good with that kind of stuff. Or even if you're not good and you want to practice, I mean, that's another avenue that you could go as well. Hari says, do you have any other site recommendations for nice clothes for smart dolls? Yeah, I will go into clothes when we get to the clothing section a little bit later on in today's episode. But talking about eyes, you could definitely change the eyes of Smart Dolls and Dolphy Dreams and certain A-Zone dolls. You can change the eyes. And although other dolls, like if you own other dolls other than that, like let's say pull-ups or blides, you can actually change the eyes of those as well. And a lot of websites do sell eyes or sell like what's it called? They sell oh my god, I'm like totally spacing out right now. I'm like going on a blank. Oh, the websites that sell clothing and wigs, sometimes those same exact websites sell eyes. And you don't always have to go for a website either. Like you can go on Etsy. Etsy's another really great place where you can get customized like wigs, customized eyes, you know, faces, things like that. When we get to the faces section of today's episode, you can always buy those there. Now, most of the eyes also come in different sizes, so you have to be aware of what size eyes you want to put in your dolls. For example, most Smart Dolls and Dolphy Dreams come with either, I believe it's around 20 millimeter eyes to as big as 24 millimeter eyes. Like that's usually kind of like the size range. Obviously 20 millimeters will be like the smaller type eyes, and you know 24 millimeters would like be bigger eyes for more of an anime kind of look, to have that big eyed kind of look. So just make sure when you're purchasing eyes that you know what size you want to get, because if you have like an anime styled girl that usually has like much wider eyes, usually that's going to be 22 millimeters to 24 millimeters. But you could get a 20 millimeter eye, which is a lot smaller, and it may or may not work, but it also could like look really awkward too. Like it may look like a big open eye and then these little tiny like eyes like in the middle with a lot of white around it. So that might look a little awkward, but if you're going for a specific look that kind of looks like that, that could suit your look as well. But just be wary of that, because when you go to these different places that sell eyes, it could go even smaller than that. Like there are like, I think it goes as small as 10 millimeter eyes for different kind of dolls, depending what you're getting. Now, if you have something like a Smart Doll, you can definitely tell the difference between it is if you have an anime style doll in Smart Doll or a semi-real doll. The semi-real dolls tend to have the smaller eyes, more towards the 20 millimeter range, somewhere around that area. Colin Brinko says there's a site called Doldry. They have really nice clothes. Yep, Doldry is a very nice place for clothes. We could talk about them when we get to the clothing section. But with eyes, it's definitely interesting changing out the eyes. I want to also give you an example for eyes, but I don't know. Let me see. Let's just do, what's it called? Let me change the view again for you guys so you could see it. Hold on. Losing my bearings. Hold on. Okay, so if we go back to the other one, the other view here, so we're going Google. Just to give you an example, a small example, like even if you were to go to Volks, I usually do Volks code JP. We'll go on the internet right now and look. You go on the online store. Come on, internet. So they actually have a section for eyes here. So let's go in there. All right, so you can see here, like you can even buy it straight from Volks, different kinds of eyes. You have 20 millimeter eyes, you know, and then it goes higher to 22 millimeter and then 24 millimeters. And you can even see it, like the differences. Like you could see like this one. Let's just look at this one in particular. Come on, open up. All right, so if you look at this one, it's more of a rounded shape eye, like the iris or the cornea, or I don't even know what it's called. The colored area of the eye is like more circular shaped. But if you do like a different kind of eye, like if you do different kinds of eyes, like this is a U type, but you can see the difference. Like this has more of a kind of like an oval shape, like a vertical oval shape, rather than going long ways. It's going up and down, kind of like ovally. And there's all different kinds of colors that you can get for these kind of eyes. Like it's pretty interesting how far they can go. If you go to Etsy and look up different kind of eyes, they even have eyes that have like stars in them or hearts in them, all different kind of like crazy colors. Some have glitter in the eyes, like sparkles and things of that nature. So there's a lot of different things that can go into these eyes. If you were to go somewhere else, like let's go to Smart Doll, right? Like if you were to go to Smart Doll and go click on here, I believe they do have it in option parts here, eyes. So you can actually get different kind of eyes for your Smart Dolls. Like this one is anime shaped eyes, so you can see they're a little bit bigger and they come in like a pack, so you can't really get them individually in pairs. And then you'll have semi-real eyes, which you can see the color area is a lot smaller because the semi-real girls have smaller eye holes. Things of that nature, you're going to see different kinds of things. And then, like, let's even take it one step further. Let's go to, if we go to Etsy, like, you can just go to Etsy and just type in, say, doll eyes, right? Like, look at that. Like, you're gonna get like a bunch of things coming up here. Now I don't really know any of these sellers, so let's just pick one at random. Let's try this one. So you could see here, like they have different kind of eyes that they sell. Let's go. So for those of you that may know this seller, Doll of a Kind, I've heard of them. I've never actually purchased from them. Like I don't really know them that well. But you know, they have, let's see. Let's do, oh, they have all different kinds. Wow, this is crazy. I want to see, let's try Smart Doll eyes, right? So like here's a good example. Like you could buy something like this, which has a heart inside the eye. Like there's an actual heart like in there, and you could change them out, you know, it's different things. So like what's another example? There's just so many. Like here's another one with hearts. Like see, this one has another kind of style with hearts in the eyes. There's just so many different options. Like when you want to change the look of your doll, like you have smaller irises, you have bigger irises. It's just amazing. Like I'm just having fun with this now because I've never actually seen this Etsy store before. But look, check it out, Doll of a Kind, all different kinds of eyes. Now this is Smart Doll eyes. I wonder, they probably have eyes for all different kinds of things. Like yeah, they see Bitty Baby blinking eyes, premium blinking eyes. Let's see, stationary eyes. Yeah, all different kinds of things. And they even have like, even this company has doll wigs. Look at this. Like they even sell doll wigs too. So I mean, really, the sky's the limit when it comes to customization. There's so many like different options out there that you can go for. You don't necessarily always have to buy it from directly from the company themselves. So let's move it back to the other screen. Okay, there we go. So that's just some examples that I want to share with you guys when talking about doll eyes. There's just so many different options out there that you can look. You just simply Google them. There's a lot of things that you can find just by Google, I want this. And a lot of places will turn up. Now, whether or not those places are reputable, or they're trustworthy, or if they have good products, that's a whole nother different thing. But you can always go to your local forums, your local Discord pages, your Reddit pages, wherever it is that you go to look up your doll information, and people will normally give their thoughts on whether is this place a good place to buy from, is this place trustworthy, or what is the quality of this place's stuff. Like there's lots of different places that you can kind of fact check, I guess you could say, the quality of these items that you're looking to buy. Another thing I want to talk about, moving away from eyes, is the heads. So I said it before, you can change the makeup of your doll by doing face-ups, right? So you could do face-ups and change the look of your doll. So if you just have like a regular, I don't know, like a regular Mirai from Smart Doll, or if you have like, a Karin from Dolphy Dream, they have like, those are just standard faces that a lot of people can get. They're not super limited, but you could change them to look however you want them to look. Let me see. So there's all different kinds of options out there. Now, what these people are normally called is, they call them face-up artists. And you could contact them, say, hey, I want, let's say you want what's a popular example? Let's say, I don't know, what is a good popular example? Let's say, you have Bleach, right? Like, it's a fairly, well, it's not as popular anymore. Let's say My Hero Academia, right? Like, My Hero Academia is still a pretty relevant show in today's standards. And let's say you wanted to make, I don't know, like a Deku head or an All Might head or something of that nature. You could contact a face-up artist and say, hey, I want this particular character. Can you make a face-up for me to change it? And usually they'll give you their recommendations. They'll say something like, oh, you could probably use like a Dolphy Dream head for that, or you could probably use a Smart Doll head for that. And they'll say specifically, get a Mirai head or get a DDH-12 head. Some places will ask you to purchase the head themselves and then mail it to them so they can do the face up. Other places will buy the head for you and do the face up, but of course they're obviously going to charge you for the head. They're not going to give you the head for free. And then you can have them custom make you like the look. Now, some places will also go take it a step further and do the wig and the eyes for you too, but obviously you're going to be paying more money. But I have a friend that lives not too far from me. We're very good friends. One of my first friends in the doll community, and she does custom face-ups for heads. Very lovely face-ups that she's been making and selling on Instagram. So there's a lot of different people that can make custom heads. So I want to give you guys another example of like what a custom head could be, like or could look like. Why is my screen freaking out now? Like my monitor is just going crazy on me. So let me try here. Let me show you guys another example of customization. So I'm gonna switch it over here. So here is a place on Etsy called Shine's Workshop. Now I haven't purchased from them either because I've never made a custom head, which I have plans to do so in the future, but I've personally never made one. But this individual is pretty popularly known worldwide, and you could see he has like, he or she, whoever this individual is, they have a lot of customized faces. Like what's a good example? Like I'm trying to find something that's like recognizable. Like here, like you have a Sailor Moon, right? So you click on this, they have a custom made Sailor Moon face. selling. I guess they're selling it for $195. Really? I guess so. Shine's Workshop, Sailor Moon. Oh, it's Wig. They're selling the wig for $95, so you can get a custom wig from them. That's not a good example. Let's see. Let's try and see if we can find a head that's like pretty well known. Oh, here's an interesting one. So here's a head. I don't know how many people are familiar with this character. What's like a good picture? So here's a head. This is going to be a full commission set of Shion from Tales of Arise, which is a very popular video game right now. If you're into RPGs, it's a very popular character of Shion, and they made a custom head out of a DDH-09 head. So this is one thing that you could do for a custom head. I don't know what this includes though. Again, like, I'm not paid or sponsored by this individual. It's just something that I just randomly looked up because I know the name. Does it come with... It doesn't specifically say it's handmade, but I don't know if it says if it comes with the eyes. I don't think it comes with the eyes or the hair, but I'm not 100% sure. But they can make you this. And then, like, there's other options where you can get, like, a customized head. So you can contact this individual to do, right here, custom commissions, where they can, you know, make it whatever you want. Let me see. Do they have Dolphy Dream and Anime style face-up commission? So select an option. A digital face-up, $40. Face-up, $130. Face-up removing, $20. Modifications. So modifications is if the doll head didn't have an open style mouth, but you want it to be open. So that's an extra $100, like if you wanted to do an open mouth, I guess. So, like, there's a lot of different options. And this is only just one person. There's so many people out there that do custom doll heads. Let me see. For dolls. So there's another one. Here's one. I don't know this character, but it says here Genshin Impact. Tartaglia. This one's an outfit. They're selling an outfit. Where's the head? I don't know if they're doing like a specific head for that one. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different like customization options that you could do. Again, like, you could just easily go on Google and do custom doll face-ups, and you'll probably get like a bunch of different places that come up. But yeah, I mean, it's just really interesting. Like, the different levels of customization that you could do for these dolls is pretty crazy. Let's see what's going on in chat. It says, I've actually seen someone make a Deku doll. Oh, that's crazy, J. Louisa. I've never actually seen that. Haru says, I recommend Hemi's doll room. She is skilled in customized face-up and clothes from the anime. Her latest is Spy Family. Yeah, I saw Hemi's doll room. If you go to YouTube and type in like Hemi's doll room, Hemi, they do a lot of custom dolls. And a lot of their stuff is really good looking. I personally, though, I saw the Spy Family one. I didn't really like the Yor that they did, and it's not that it wasn't good quality. The face that they were trying to copy or recreate from the anime wasn't a particularly like face look that I was into for that particular character. Like, if I were to make a Yor, I would like her to have more of her mean look, so to speak, whereas Hemi's doll room, they made her a very happy looking Yor with like a big smile on her face, and it just wasn't my style, but it was very well made, and it definitely looked like Yor. Like, you could tell it was Yor for sure. But yeah, there's so many different custom face-up people, and like I said, my friend, some of you may have seen her work on Instagram or in different doll groups, but she goes by @Potpourri on Instagram. She does a lot of custom face-up stuff. I don't know if she's taking commissions right now. She may be full. I'm not entirely sure, but she does randomly do custom faces that she makes, you know, for herself, and then like sells them, you know, on her Instagram page. But like I said, like, custom face-ups, as they're called, is very popular. They can be pricey, especially if you're going for an individual that's very well known for their quality and their ability to make a certain kind of face-up. it could get very expensive. Like, you know, just the head and the face up alone could be $1,000 in itself, and that's not even including you have to buy the doll, you know, you have to buy outfits or whatever. Like, so it can be expensive. Just it really depends on the look that you're going for and how much modifications. Like, if you wanted to change the eye shape drastically, if you wanted to add an open mouth, if you wanted them to do you know, a wig also, you know, like it can get pretty crazy on the pricing on that. And it's not like I'm saying that the prices are too expensive, they should be cheaper. No, you should pay the artist what the artist is asking, like, and what they deserve, because it's hard work doing face ups on a doll. I've never done it, but I've watched my friend at Potpourri. I've seen her face ups, and I've talked to her at nauseum about face ups, and it's a really extensive process, and it takes a lot of skill. Like, you have to be good at drawing, because you're essentially drawing on a 3D head. You know, and if you're not even good at drawing on a piece of paper, let alone it's even harder drawing it on an actual head that's, like, you know, rounded and has actual, like, crevices and you know, divots and all these other kind of things. It's really difficult. It really is. These face up artists deserve, you know, all the credit that they can for the job that they do. But again, because this whole topic for today is called doll customization, there is a lot to cover, and there is going to be future episodes on Beyond the Doll with guests. So I will have a guest again in a future episode I'm scheduling everybody. Right now, I'm in the middle of scheduling all the guests that are going to be coming from this episode and into the future, that are going to be talking about very specific things. So we will, like I said earlier, we'll have a guest later on talking about resin versus vinyl. We will have a guest also coming on about custom doll face-ups. So that's coming in the future as well. So we are going to have guests coming on to the show talking about custom face-ups. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be coming up in the future episode. But like I said, these custom face-ups are amazing. And this is one of the more expensive parts of customizing your doll. Is definitely the face-up is one of the more expensive parts. But it's well worth it, especially if you get it from, like, a really good, reputable person. You're definitely getting a high-quality look to your doll. Jay Louisa says, I know it's resin, but I did make a Yuli... I don't know how to say that name. I know the character you're talking about. I just don't know how to pronounce the name. It's like a Yuli Kuiora from Bleach. He's my favorite doll. Yeah, I know that character, and I always mess up the name. So I am sorry for butchering the name, but I know which one you're talking about. Faye James. Oh no, they retracted their message. Jay Louisa, planning ahead, so exciting. Yeah, yeah. From today's episode on, there are going to be more guests coming on the show to talk about very specific things, because, you know, as much as I love talking about dolls, and I know a lot of things about dolls, I'm not an expert in, like, customization. So I am going to be having guests coming on later episodes talking about different things. So we will have a guest later in a later episode about face-ups that's going to be coming on. So be on the lookout for that. So other than face-ups, other things that you could do is jewelry, right? Like, usually dolls that you buy, not all the dolls come with jewelry. So jewelry is another big thing that you could do to customize your dolls. I know Dolphy Dream has some jewelry on their site that they do sell. There really isn't much of it, but there is some on there. Some of their dolls, especially anime collaborated dolls, will come with jewelry if the character's known to wear a specific kind of jewelry. Smart Doll does sell some jewelry, but it's mostly just like a necklace or like a bracelet. They don't really have anything else other than that. A-Zone, I'm not too sure about with when it comes to jewelry. I'm not 100% sure on that. But you can definitely, just like everything I've shown you thus far, you can definitely Google it and find different places. Etsy is a great place for finding different kinds of jewelries. And again, I'm going to change screens and give another example that you guys can see. Let's see. We're going to change screens here again. And we're going to go to Etsy, to Kitten Cat Shop. So again, I'm not paid or sponsored by Kitten Cat. This is just a company that I personally have ordered from before, and I've heard from other people that have ordered from them. They have a lot of really awesome jewelry. So you can have earrings. So they're pretty big on earrings and necklaces. Like you can see here, there's all different types of earrings for your dolls that you can get, whether they're big hoop earrings, little studs, little gems, things of that nature. And they have a thing here called the no hole. So there's a lot of like earrings where, especially if you get it from Dolphy Dreams, like from Volks, that require you to actually pierce the ears of the dolls, which requires a specific tool to drill a hole into the doll's head. So I personally don't do it because I don't want to drill any holes into my dolls. So I bought this kit, which is the no hole kit from Kitten Kat. I haven't done my online review of it as of yet. I'll probably do that sometime in the future. But it's really easy. You just put magnets basically inside the head and then it attaches. They have a thing here. Like if you guys want to watch this really short video, see, they just take the thing off. There's no hole. It's just a magnet, and you can put any type of earring that they sell on there. So it doesn't matter what you buy. Once you buy this kit, you can basically buy any type of earrings on their website and just change them in and out intermittently once you have that magnet inside of the head. And you could get all different, kinds of like earrings and stuff. So, I mean, let's look at this. They have hoop earrings, like a heart, a long teardrop shape. You have these things like the little studs. Like you can get like the colors of your birth month or your character's birth month to get the studs. Let's see. You can have regular hoop earrings. Look, they even have like piercings. Look at that. You can get like an above the eyebrow piercing that you could do. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff when it comes to customizing your dolls that you can get from a lot of different companies. Like here, there's like a necklace. This has a magnetic clasp, so you don't have to mess with the clasp. Like I have Dolphy Dream necklaces that came with the doll when I purchased them. It was part of the character's like look, and opening that little tiny clasp for that little tiny necklace is such a pain in the butt. So having a magnetic clasp like this one is definitely a plus. So definitely check out Kitten Kat shop. They have really, really amazing stuff. Let's see, what else do they have here? They have like doll jewelry. They sell patterns too, like there's different kind of patterns from them, so definitely check them out. There's a lot of different places as well that do have jewelry that you can purchase for your dolls, so definitely do your diligence in checking out different places. Like I said, this is just an example I'm giving you guys, of what what you can get for customization, like what's out there. And there's so many different websites and so many different Etsy shops that you can go to purchase these things. But definitely like earrings, necklaces, bracelets, like things like that is a really awesome way that you could change the look of your doll, and for relatively reasonably priced. Like the jewelry isn't so drastically priced where it's like so expensive either. Like they're pretty decently priced. It's pretty good. So now let's get on to the bigger thing that a lot of people are waiting for is clothing, right? So clothing can do a wide range of things to customize your doll, from shoes to underwear to tops to bottoms to dresses to cosplay. There are so many different places that you can go to. So many. So let's see. If we go... Let's talk about doll clothes. So let's do the obvious first, right? Like let's do the obvious places that you can check for doll clothes. And I say obvious because when you go shopping for your doll, you're going to notice it anyways, like as you're shopping. So we're going to go back to the internet here. So let's go to Volks. Actually, let's do Smart Doll first, because Smart Doll's like super easy. So if you go to the Smart Doll website, obviously if you go to the apparel section, you're gonna get all these different clothing options that you can buy. Whole uniforms, jackets, tops, like they have it all here. Bottoms, like see, you get pants, shorts, different things of that nature. Footwear, you can get shoes, like different kinds of shoes. Innerwear, so you have underwear, bathing suits, things of that nature, belts, bags, and accessories. So you got hats, you have bangles, like I said, like gloves, glasses, all these different things. So if you're shopping for Smart Doll, obviously you're going to notice all these things because you're on the website to buy it. Same thing with Volks. If you're on the Volks website, right, which Come on, load. Okay, you're on the Volks website. You click on fashion, and it'll pop up with all these different clothings, like all these different kinds of clothings that you can get. And you can even, like, they even have ways that you can filter it. So, like, let's say you want to do, let's just do normal Dolphy Dream, right? You check off Dolphy Dream. Let's say you're looking for, I don't know, summer clothes. Let's do summer. And then we'll do lookup. Let's do a search. So now it's going to search. It's going to give you Dolphy Dream clothes, summery looking clothes. Look at this. Seashell dress, summer uniforms. Like, look at this. Shoes, like the gaita sandals, stockings. It's all here. And that's all from the doll store that you're purchasing your dolls from, right? So they have clothes here. But you can go to other places. Like, for example, I just recently did a video of a store that I visited in Japan called From Sen. And if we go to their website page, you can actually see here From Sen has a whole bunch of different things too. So if you go for doll clothes, let's see, by doll clothes by size. Let's try that. Okay, so then you're going to have all these different choices here. So Dolphy Dream, large or medium, Dolphy Dream Dynamite, mini Dolphy Dream. Look, they even have stuff specifically for Obitsu, Blythes, SD sizes. So let's do Dolphy Dream just to make it easier. So if you click on Dolphy Dream, you could see all these different outfit sets or individual parts like a top or a bottom. So let's click on something here. Let's click on this military jacket, right? So let's check out the military jacket. If it were to load, come on, load, open. So here you go. We got a military jacket here, and can we make the picture bigger? See if we can magnify. Oh, that's as big as it goes. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but yeah, I mean, there's a military jacket for 2,500 yen, and it says here fits MSD, SD13, SD17. Oh, it even has it there in bigger letters. So you have that. I mean, you could go, oh my gosh, there's so many. Let's do like an outfit set. Like, I don't know, let's do something. I don't know, I'm trying to see if there's anything that like kind of catches my eye, like as I'm looking through these things. So let's pick out, oh here, let's do this. Let's see how this looks. So this is a maid outfit. Fits MSD, DD, large or medium, DDY, SD16, 6,000 yen. So you can see like there's like a little maid outfit. This is everything that it comes with. So I mean, there's all different places that you can go to find doll clothing. You don't have to buy from Sem. You don't have to buy from Dolphy Dream. You don't have to buy from Smart Doll. There's like so many places. And again, if you go to Etsy, Etsy's one of those places where you can find like a ton of customized doll clothing there. You can also go to one of my favorite people, Tobias Malfoy. If you go to Tobias Malfoy's website, they have all these different outfits. Now, most of these are marketed towards Smart Doll, as he's like a huge fan of Smart Doll. But I don't know if any of these actually can fit other dolls. Let me see. Does he specify? I forgot if he specified. No, it just says fit small, standard bus, and push-up bus. So this is strictly for like Smart Doll. But I think he does do like other kind of, I don't know if he does other, I know he owns other dolls, maybe. I could be wrong. But oh, here it says here, official designer and maker of Smart Doll apparel since 2015. So I mean, if you want Smart Doll apparel, I guess you can go to Tobias Malfoy. He's got good stuff. I purchased from him before. He's got really good stuff. You can go there, or you can go. Let's try another one. Let's do another one, guys. So like was mentioned in chat before. I think Colin Brinko said it. Let's go to Dolgery, right? Like you go to Dolgery. Dolgery is another place that I have purchased from. Very good doll company. So you can see here, she'll actually tell you. So let's go for this one. This is an easy one. This is a cosplay outfit for Anna, and it says specifically here fits Smart Doll and Dolphy Dream. So, I mean, you could go for this particular doll. Let's see. And it says, dress made for Smart Doll and Dolphy Dream, fits on small to medium bust. There's an inner lining included to eliminate the chance of color staining. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you could see here the different pictures that they offer for this. I mean, they got tons and tons of stuff. And you could do a search by cosplay, casual, lingerie, fashion. So let's try casual, right? We can do casual. So here's some of the casual looks, skirts, you know, things of this nature. I mean, I had, let's see, some of these are sold out. Oh yeah, some of these are sold out. So then let's try fashion. Oh, here's a cool one. So they got like a 2022 spring wedding gown. You can get a wedding gown, like, and it'll tell you, let's see, what does it say here? The dress fits nicely on Smart Doll, Dolphy Dream, small and medium bust. So, again, there's like all these different places that you can buy clothing from. And, you know, depending on where you go, you know, the prices will vary. But there is a lot of different places that you can go. Now, there's also people out there that you can ask to make you custom outfits. You know, you just have to look around, and you could definitely find them on forums, on Instagram, on Facebook pages, on you know, Discord pages. There's a lot of people that does custom outfits, custom face ups, things of that nature that you can go and purchase, you know, and find the things that you want. It's definitely one of the most interesting parts of this hobby, is that you can make this doll really your own. Like, I think I said it in the very first episode that was titled Anime Dolls, is that that's one of the things that really attracted me to this hobby, was the customization. So, for example, the example I used was, if you collect Nendroids, right? For those of you that don't know, Nendroids is like little small collectibles. They're somewhat kind of posable, but they basically have a large head and a small body, and they got that cuteness factor to them, right? But you can't really change too much. They have different faceplates to change facial expressions, but their bodies are pretty much, you know, their bodies, and they're wearing whatever it is that they're wearing. You can't change the clothes. Although the newer versions, you can change some of the clothes, like they'll have different shells that you can change, but it's not that many different variations. And then you'll have things like Figurize or Figma, where they're highly posable like figures, but again, you can't change the clothing. So that's something that you can't customize, but they're, you know, highly posable. Then you have statues, which are just beautiful looking, but they don't move, right? But they do look absolutely gorgeous. I feel like this hobby takes all of that and encompasses it into one thing, because you have a doll that is big like a statue. It's beautiful like a statue. Like, it looks absolutely amazing. Has the posability of, like, you know, of figure arts or Figma. And you can actually change things, like things that you can't change in any of those things, like hair. You can change hairstyle. You can change eyes. You can change clothing. You can change shoes. So many different customization options for these dolls, which I think is super, super awesome and super amazing. Let me see. Colin Brinko says, I think I will get those magnetic earrings for my Mercury Dolphy Dream because I cannot bring myself to pierce the ears. Didn't even know the magnetic earrings could be a thing, so that's so cool. Yeah, like, I had the same thing. A lot of my dolls came with earrings from my character dolls from Volks, and I just don't want to pierce the ears. Like, I don't want to damage anything. Like, I'm too afraid to do it myself. I know people that have done it and have done it perfectly fine, no damage whatsoever. It's just I don't trust myself to do it. So that's just something for me personally. So I bought like the kit for the magnetic earrings where there's just no holes and it's super easy to put in. I will do a video of that sometime in the future. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, that's like so many customization options. So we talked about wigs, we talked about eyes, we talked about face ups, we talked about accessories, and we talked about clothing. Like, there's just so many different options out there to customize your doll to make it your own. And if there companies that you're looking into do not carry what it is that you're looking for, there's always people on Etsy or forums or whatever, Instagram, that do custom custom made things for you. Now, obviously, if it's custom, there may be a higher fee to that because they're tailoring this product specifically for your needs, and then they have to do, their own research on how to make it and how the clothes should look, and go out and find the materials to make. Like, there's like a lot. It's not like things are just ready made. So it's gonna cost you some money to get a customized item like that. But it is available to you, and it is an option for these dolls. Now, I guess you could make the argument that any hobby, you could get someone to customize something for you. That is totally true. Like, if you're into the car hobby, there's definitely people for that. If you're into the Gundam hobby, there's definitely people for that. Even shoes, like if you're a sneakerhead, there are customized sneakers that you could buy out there to have your name put on it, or have it colored a certain way. Like, everything has customization. But I just think that with these dolls, just the customization for the dolls in particular, the sky's the limit with these dolls and this hobby. Like, there's so much that you could do with them, and there's so many avenues out there that you could buy. Rakuten is another place that you could check out. They have like a whole bunch of stuff. Yahoo Japan has a whole bunch of stuff. Like, there is a lot of different places, if you know where to look. And that's what I'm here for. Here to tell you that there's a lot of places. And it's just as simple as Google. Google, I need this. And then it'll give you a bunch of stuff. It'll just blurt out a bunch of stuff. Now, obviously, not all these places are trustworthy or good. So that's why, you just Google them, look at them, and then ask the community. Any community that you're part of. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook groups, Discord groups, Reddit. Like, go to your local place and say, hey, has anybody purchased from this person or this company or whatever? And more often than not, most people will have a review for you or give you their opinion of that company. And if there's nobody that knows anything about that particular thing, and you're like the first one to bring it to people's attention, trust me, somebody will end up buying it and doing a review at some point. There are so many avenues for these things that I learned just recently. Like, I said this in the first episode, when I started, there wasn't many avenues to find out things. There are very, very few and far between YouTubers giving out information. There weren't as many forums or Facebook groups when I first started, but now there are so many. And when I had that episode of Burnout and I took my time away from YouTube for a long time, I had a lot of time to see other people's content, other YouTubers' content, other Instagrammers, other forums, other Facebook groups, and the hobby has grown by leaps and bounds. There's so many places that you can look, and get advice from so many different people. It's not necessarily just this channel. There's so many places that you can go. Although I am very happy that you guys come to this channel and watch my content and try to find any advice that I could give that could help you. I'm very grateful and happy that you guys choose to watch my content. But I'm just letting you know that there's just so many avenues and so many places that you can go to find information out. Whether it be YouTube or Facebook's groups, Instagram, etc., etc. I know I've said it multiple times, but I couldn't stress it enough that there's just so many places to go nowadays. It's so amazing, especially for someone like me that started in this hobby like a long time ago. Seeing it grow like this is super amazing. Like, it used to be so hard for me to find out information, and that's really the reason why I started this YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel because I couldn't find the information that I wanted. Like, there were I don't want to say a lot, but there were a couple individuals on YouTube or on forums that had info about certain things, but they didn't have the info that I was looking for. And that's okay, because, most people only share info that they're more interested in, like things that pique their interest, so they share it with the world. But nobody really talked a lot about the stuff that I was personally into, and I was like, you know what, since I'm doing all the research anyway for my personal needs, I might as well share it with everybody else, since I can't find anywhere else that's really sharing this. And that's pretty much how my YouTube channel started. So I mean, it's just amazing how much this hobby has grown. So going back to customization, yes, there's a lot of different places that you can check. So does anyone have, before I move on with anything else, does anyone have in chat or anybody that's watching any questions on anything specific they want to know about customization. Because like I said, we will go into that in future episodes more in depth. But just today's episode was just a brief overview of what you could do when you want to customize your dolls, like different kinds of things that you can look into. Let's see, anybody in chat? Doesn't look like anyone has anything to say. You guys are, I guess, pretty good with what I've mentioned. You know, one thing I always wanted to bring up, one thing I always wanted to talk about that I thought was interesting was underwear for dolls. And no, I don't mean it in a perverted type of way. It's just that, you know, like as human beings, like as people, we wear underwear for different kinds of reasons, hygienic reasons, you know, embarrassment reasons, you know, just to cover up, like, you know, there's like all different kinds of reasons, like maybe you want to look a little, you know, ooh la la or something like that. You know, there's different reasons why to wear underwear and the types of underwears that you wear. But for dolls, do they really need it? See, this is an interesting topic that always struck me. They don't really need it, right? Like, you can dress a doll in commando, right? Like, you can put a shirt on your girl without a bra. You can put pants on your doll without panties, you know, and it's not going to hurt them. It's not like they're going to have any kind of hygienic issues. It's not like they're going to, like their chest is going to, you know, be bouncing all over the place or be, you know, whatever, or, you know, show things that they're not supposed to show if they don't wear a bra, you know, like, they don't need those things because they're dolls, like their chest defies gravity, so to speak, and their you know their clothes usually cover everything, so you don't really need that, you know, the underwear. So like, is it really something that you need? Because when you look and you go doll shopping for stuff like lingerie or undergarments is usually the one that has the least amount of options. Like if you go to the Smart Doll website, there is a small handful of undergarments there, and then the majority of the rest is like bathing suits, like bikinis and things of that nature. If you go to Dolphy Dream website, they also have a very small selection of underwear, and usually it's just underwear and bra sets and a very specific kind of like color or pattern, or just panties, like in general, but never really just the bra, like if you wanted just a bra, which was interesting because when I purchased my Dolphy Dream Cheryl Gnome, she actually didn't come with underwear. My very first doll I ever bought, which was Momo from Xenosaga, which was also Dolphy Dream, she came with underwear. But when I bought Cheryl at a later date, she did not come with underwear. She didn't come with panties or bra. So I thought that was very interesting. And then when I went around looking for a panty and bra for them to wear, there wasn't many places that was selling them. So what do you guys think? Like, let me know in the comment section down below, or for those of you that are in chat, let me know what you think. Like, do you think it's even really necessary? Like, I think it fulfills certain looks, right? Like, if you're going for a certain kind of look for your doll, like let's say you're doing like something, a clubbing look or a nightclub kind of look, or a sexy kind of vibe. I mean, you could do a look that I do with my Mika Jogasaki doll, my Smart Doll, where she has like a sports bra underneath, and then like what do you call those? Like a shirt, like those half cut shirts where it's like a button down shirt, but you tie it so that it can expose that area, but in like not in a pervy way, but like in a very stylish kind of way, to have like the bra kind of show through the shirt. There's different things like that you could do for your dolls to have a certain look, right? And that would require the use of a bra. But if you're having your dolls wear like a full outfit that doesn't show anything, it's not even really necessary. Like if your doll's wearing a t-shirt, you don't really need to have that, right? If your doll's wearing pants or shorts, she doesn't really need to wear underwear, right? If she's wearing a skirt, maybe you want to have your doll wearing underwear, maybe, because like God forbid, like the wind blows and it up blows the skirt, or they fall over or something and start flashing everybody. Maybe that's not such a good idea. So maybe you want to put underwear on your doll at that point. I think this is a very awkward subject for me to talk about, being that I don't wear any of these things. And it could be seen as pretty perverted on my part. But I'm just saying, like, in general, like, it's just an interesting topic for me because those are things that a normal person usually would be wearing. But when it comes to dolls, they don't really need it. There's a specific doll. What do you call them? Like an atelier that specifically they only make like lingerie for dolls, right? Like they have like specific like I guess you could say sexy panties and a sexy type of bra, or like a sexy type of corset for the dolls, and they make really high quality products, and it's very expensive. It's called Aonori or something like that, and you can find them on Twitter. They mostly post on Twitter and Instagram, and I have been in awe at those items. Like they're really beautiful and really nice looking, but they're super expensive, and it's pretty hard to buy from them as they're Japanese based. I can't even figure out how to purchase them from normally. A friend of mine purchased from them, and it was through a proxy service that they got their stuff from, but if you wanted to do like a cover model type look for your doll, that would definitely be one store that I would suggest going to buy from if you want like a sexy kind of like lingerie type look for your doll. That's one company that has it. There are other companies that do kind of sell like underwear or sexy lingerie for your dolls, but I'm not too familiar with like that many websites that have them. I know that Hello Cool Cat does have some options there. From Sen also does have some options there as well. I think even Dolgerie, the one that we were talking about before, they do have some like sexy undergarments or lingerie, so to speak. So it's just always an interesting question that I always thought about, and it's like, it's not really necessary for the dolls to have it, but do you want them to? Like, personally, like, I have all my dolls wearing some shape or form type of underwear. Like, they all have it. There are specific dolls that don't. Like, for example, Supergirl here. Not to sound uncouth or perverted, but she doesn't have a bra or underwear on. And there's a very specific reason for that, and it's because it doesn't fit. Like, her Supergirl outfit is so tight and so form-fitting on her that when I put the underwear on her and then I put her outfit over it, it wouldn't fit. Like, I literally couldn't close the clasp on the back of the doll. I couldn't fit the underwear on because, like, the Supergirl underwear on, the super undies, so to speak, like, I couldn't fit them because the undergarments got in the way. And the same thing with my Cheryl Gnome, with her original outfit that came with the doll. Now I understand why she didn't come with an underwear and a bra set, because the original outfit set that she comes with was so form-fitting and tight that you couldn't fit the underwear on and then put that other stuff on top of it. So, but when I don't want her wearing her original outfit and I want to give her a custom outfit, like a school uniform or, jeans and t-shirt or something of that nature, I don't have an underwear set for her. And I personally like having all my girls wearing underwear because I feel like I just feel like it's more classy, I guess. But it's 100% unnecessary. Like, they actually don't really need it. But, like, I personally like to have them wearing it, if at all possible, like, if I can have them wear it, judging upon whether or not the outfit that they're wearing allows for it. You know what I mean? I bought a custom outfit from what's it called, May's Orange Studio on Instagram and Facebook. She made me a lovely dress, evening gown dress, but it's made out of a very I don't know what the word is, like a sheer kind of fabric. It's very beautiful, but it's also very see-through, right? So if your doll wasn't wearing an underwear set underneath that outfit, you could see right through it. Like, you could see her chest, you could see her nether regions, like right through it. And it wasn't intended that way. It's just that, like, the way that the outfit was made, if you have it in certain lighting, you can kind of see through it. Like, so it's hard to describe without showing you guys what it looks like. Let me see if I could find it real quick. If I could find the picture, let me see. Instagram. Let me look it up. Maze Orange Studio. Can I find her on Instagram on my website? Can I find her? Oh, I found her. Okay, so there is... Let me see if I can find this dress now. There's a very beautiful dress I purchased from her. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I can find it. I'm looking. She has so many awesome pictures. She was selling it like a long time ago, so it might be hard to find. Oh, so here we go. So I'm gonna share this. It's gonna change my screen so that you guys can see it. Oh, I just noticed chat. Derek Dutton. Hi mate, just bought my first smart doll Mirai because of your great content. She arrived yesterday, loving her. Thanks for all your help. You're welcome, Derek, and congratulations on your new doll, and welcome to the doll family. Carmen Sahagan, hello there. Hi Carmen, how you doing? I'm just about to show, since you guys just joined, I'm just about to show a picture of this dress. So let me see here. I'm gonna change the view. Oh, Yoshi Plays. Konbanwa, Yoshi Plays. Welcome to the stream, Yoshi. So here we go. So here's the dress that I purchased from Maze Orange Studio. See, as you can see, it's a very beautiful dress. I love this outfit. This is the exact dress that I bought from her. And I bought it in two different colors. I bought it in this color and also in a pink color. But it's very see-through. And the way she did it in this photo, like the way she took the photograph, like you couldn't really... The way she angled it, you can't really see through the dress right now. But like in person, like face to face, like if you're looking at the dress right in front of you and you're holding the doll right in front of you, you can actually see through it. Like the fabric is very thin and you can actually see through it. But this is one of my most favorite dresses that I own. It's so gorgeous looking. The only reason why I haven't posted many pictures of this dress yet is because I'm looking for the right place to take the picture to make it look good. Like, just like you could see in May's picture here from Maze Orange Studio, this is a great picture. She takes a lot of gorgeous pictures of her doll. And the dress is so beautiful. I'm trying to find the right place to take a picture of this doll with the dress because it's absolutely gorgeous. But this material is very, very thin and very see-through. So, I mean... You know, I had to, when my Cheryl Gnome was wearing this dress, because she's wearing the pink one, you can actually see everything through it, because that's even a lighter color than this dark blue. Like, this dark blue covers everything pretty well, but when you have the pink was even more see-through. So, you know, I put I had to go and buy a bra and underwear set for her, just so she can wear it underneath, so she's not, like, flashing everybody when she's wearing the dress. So, I mean, that's just a picture of the dress. That it's a very beautiful dress that I purchased. It's very nice. But yeah, that's just like another, you know, example of like what I'm talking about with like wearing underwear for your dolls or any kind of lingerie for your dolls. Yoshi Play says, I like your content. Congratulations on your new Adolphi dude. Yeah, I was thinking about ordering a new dress for Akiko. Yeah, I mean, like there's so many places that you can get outfits. I can't say that enough. And even right now, like if you go to the Volks website, depending on your time zone where you live, but basically July 2nd, which would be, for me at least, July 2nd Japan time, they're releasing their new July outfit collection, which is a summer collection event where they have summer uniforms and yukatas for dolls. So if you're interested in summer uniforms or yukatas, definitely check the Volks International website because they're having their July summer event on July 2nd. That's Japanese time, JST time. So for me, I live on the East Coast of the United States. That won't be available to me until, you know, Saturday, right, for me. So, you know, it's not available. Basically what I'm saying is not available for me right now. It's going to be available for me tomorrow. But I think right now in Japanese time, it's going to be that soon for them or something of that nature. Because they're like one day ahead of me. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different places that you can go for customizing your doll. Like we covered so many topics today, of wigs. We covered eyes. We covered accessories. We covered face ups, and we covered outfits. The only thing on outfits I didn't talk about was shoes. We we talked about underwear a little bit longer than I probably should have. Now I sound like a total perv. But shoes is another thing. So all those different places I showed you before, like From Sen, the Volks, the Smart Doll, like they all sell shoes. Hello Kit Kat, not Hello Kit Kat, Hello Cool Cat is another place from Singapore that sells like a lot of different doll shoes. There's so many websites that have doll shoes as well that you can check out. There's also another one called Alice Collections. They sell wigs, shoes, underwears, eyes, all different kinds of things there. So the sky's the limit with customizing your dolls and changing the look of your dolls. Let me see. Faye James says Pretty Blue. Yeah, the blue one is amazing. The blue dress, if you're talking about the blue dress. Yoshi Play says, mostly I made a Seifuku schoolgirl uniform for her since last month. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to see a picture of that, Yoshi Plays, actually. Faye James says, perfect fall dress. It is. And you can see it from that picture. It definitely is a beautiful fall dress. Like going back to that picture. Yeah, it's a beautiful fall dress that you could see there. It looks amazing. But yeah, customizing your doll, there's just so many things to it. So like I said earlier, we are going to have guests coming for future episodes. I'm going to have a guest the next episode. Actually, this is episode 5. So for episode 6, I'm going to be having our very first guest on Beyond the Doll. And we are going to be talking about 3D printing stuff. So we're going to talk about 3D printing. So like if you want to 3D print your own accessories, your own what's it called? Your own stands, your own whatever you want to do, you can use with a 3D printer to print things. We're going to have a guest talking about that next episode on episode 6. So that's 2 weeks from now. Not next week, but the week afterwards on Friday, we're going to be doing that. We also have plans for a face-up artist to be on the show at a later date to talk about custom face-ups. We are going to be talking about vinyl versus resin. I'm going to have another guest come on to the show talking about resin dolls, and I'm going to be talking about the vinyl side, and we're going to do some comparisons between that. I'm also going to have another guest talking about the doll community and doll wigs. So be on the lookout for future episodes of Beyond the Doll because it's about to get a lot more livelier. So for the first 5 episodes, it's really just been me talking this whole time, like telling you about this hobby. We started from what is an anime doll to doll shopping, doll customization, doll the community, maintenance and care. So it was a lot of the basic stuff that you need to know to get yourself started in the hobby. And then today we briefly or lightly touched upon doll customization, which has a whole lot of stuff that goes into doll customization. So we are also going to have a guest talking about doll clothing, so be on the lookout for that. There's a lot of stuff in the works coming up for future episodes, so I hope you guys are excited for that. I hope you guys are excited to meet the guests, as I believe that the show is about to get a lot more lively as time goes on. Let's see. So that's pretty much everything for today's episode for doll customization. Again, this was a very brief, even though we've been talking for about an hour and 40 minutes now, it's a very brief introduction on the different things that you can customize for your dolls. Now, there are obviously is stuff that I didn't touch upon. There may have been other things that I may have left out, but that's because there is just so much to cover when it comes to doll customization. I wanted to at least give you guys a taste of all the different things that you can do to your dolls, and give you some light examples of different places that you can go to either purchase or check out the different types of things that for eyes, wigs, clothing, face ups, etc., etc. So I just wanted to get your palate wet, so to speak, because for future episodes we're going to go in more in depth on these topics as we move on. Let's see. Oh, Demi, what's up? So much planned, very exciting. Yes, there is a lot planned, Demi. I don't know if you just joined or if you've been lurking for a while, but yeah, we have a lot of guests coming onto the show in later episodes. Again, like it's gonna be, I'm gonna have a face-up artist on. I'm going to have a resin person on. I'm gonna have somebody talking about wigs and doll community. I'm gonna have someone talking about 3D printing. I think I'm also going to have somebody talking about small business. So because this hobby has been taking off for a lot of people, there's a lot of people doing like their own Etsy shops and their own like, businesses, of customizing dolls. So I'm going to have a guest talking about starting small businesses on a later date. So there is a lot that's going to be happening with this show, and this is the main crux that I wanted this show to be. I wanted it to be a show with guests talking about very specific things, but I figured for the very first couple episodes, I needed to lay some kind of a foundation. For those of you that are new to the hobby, just getting started with the hobby, I wanted to lay a foundation of, what it is we're going to be talking about. So like I said earlier, just to repeat for those people that are new, that are just joining with us, we started with what is an anime doll. We started with doll shopping, like where to buy them, the doll community, maintenance and care, and today we were touching upon like different options for customizing your doll. So now that the groundwork so to speak has been all laid out for you guys, and you're now pseudo experts in the doll hobby, like you kind of know what to look for and what's kind of out there. Now we get into the meat and potatoes of what the Beyond the Doll show is supposed to be. So we are going to be having guests coming on the show. I'm very excited for it. There may not be a guest every episode from here on out, and that's mainly because scheduling conflicts. So trying to get individuals on, because a lot of these guests are not from the same time zone that I'm in. Some are coming from different countries all over the world that are going to speak on the show, and trying to align days and times for individuals to show up, because this show airs every other Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time specifically. So trying to find guests and getting guests to be on the show on this time frame, like, because for some people, this time frame, like if it's Japan, it's like the middle of the day for them, like 11 a.m. 12 p.m. If it's like in like Europe, this might be like 1 a.m. in the morning for them, or like 5 a.m. in the morning for them. So aligning guests from all over the world has been kind of difficult. So there may not be a guest every single week from here on out, but we are planning on having guests from here on out in the future. So be on the lookout for that. Scheduling them and getting times where people can join, it has been very difficult, but it's going to be rewarding. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be fun. So that's it for today's episode. Now, usually at the end of this of Beyond the Doll, I do something called Dream Doll, where we talk about possible dolls that have never been released that we want to be released, or dolls that you want to custom make yourself, and we talk about different kind of head options and things like that. We are actually not going to do that today, because I feel like that'll get boring and dry after a while if I do it every single episode. We talk about like a dream doll, and we're probably going to run out of doll choices to make eventually at some point in time. So I want to kind of stagger it, and we're going to change the ending topics for each episode every now and then. We're going to change things. So this is called Beyond the Doll. So we are talking about dolls and beyond. Which means anything else other than dolls, basically. It's a very vague topic, right? So today I want to talk about something that interests me a lot. I don't know if it interests you. It may not interest you, but let's see. So let's go and change screens. This won't take very long. It's just like a fun thing that I like to do at the end of the video. For those of you that stayed long enough to watch the entire video, this is just a fun little bonus section, okay? So we are going to talk about... Oh, why isn't it changing? Shizusan's Anime Corner. So, for those of you that are not familiar with my channel, not familiar with me, I am a huge anime fan. And that's pretty much how I got into this hobby. Like, I was looking at anime figures and anime statues, and I just stumbled upon an anime collaboration of Asuna from Sword Art Online, and it all fell down from there. Like, and now I have this channel. So, my original roots was in just anime and watching anime. So I don't know how many individuals that watch my channel are big fans of anime. Maybe some of you are, maybe some of you aren't. But this is Shizusan's Anime Corner, where I'll be talking about some anime that I personally like and maybe you guys may like and may want to try out. So let's get started. It's not a very long, just a fun little topic to go over. First up is a new anime series that's called My Dress Up Darling. I really like this show, and I think a lot of you in the doll hobby actually would appreciate this show. So the show is about a young girl, a high school age girl, and a high school age boy. And this girl likes cosplay a lot, and she likes to cosplay, and the boy is actually a what they call a Hina doll. It's a Japanese doll, basically, and he likes to do face-ups on them and make dresses for the dolls. So see where it kind of comes in? So it's a gentleman that actually likes to do face-ups and create clothing for dolls, a very specific kind of doll, kind of called a Hina doll. And this young lady that you can see in the picture here, she discovers that he has this ability to sew clothes. And she has no idea how to sew clothes. So she comes to him and asks him to make a cosplay outfit for her. And that's the basic, gist of the show. That's what the show is all about this young man and this young girl entering the world of cosplay, so to speak. And I think a lot of you in the doll hobby can relate to this, especially if you're anime fans, because one, it's anime, and two, because the gentleman in question in the show is a doll enthusiast that likes to do face-ups and likes to design clothing for dolls, and now he's doing it for people. I think it's a nice, cool little segue. The only thing about this show is that I wouldn't recommend it for children. There's a lot of really explicit scenes. It doesn't really show anything. Like, it's not like it shows any kind of genitalia, but there's a lot of suggested content in it. So I wouldn't recommend it for watching it around small children. And some of the things they say, even in a jokingly manner, is not really appropriate for children to listen to. So if you're 18 and older, this is a great show for you. And you parents out there, if your kids are watching this, I definitely would advise you to be on the lookout and watch what your kids are watching, because maybe you'll be okay with it for a teenager to watch, like, let's say 14, 15 years old. And it is rated TV 14. So, I mean, if you're comfortable with your child watching something that's TV 14, then maybe the show is okay for you. But those, like, little suggestive themes in the show it's there, but it's not as much as I make it sound like. And there may be like one little scene for like half a second, like in one episode, and then like there may be one that goes on for a whole minute in another episode. But like, it's not really the main focus of the show. It's not really like an eroge kind of show, or at least not really. But I definitely recommend it. It's one of my top favorites that I watched this season. I think it's really cool. So it's one of my recommendations. For my second recommendation is going to be this one. It's called Bofuri, I Don't Want to Get Hurt, So I'll Max Out My Defense. It's a very long title, but essentially I'm a huge fan of anime, right? But you know that even in anime, there's different kinds of genre, right? Like there's slice of life, there's action, there's drama, there's eroge, there's like all different kinds of things. And this particular anime is one of my favorite genres, which is called, I think it's called isekai, if I'm not mistaken. Like the genre's called isekai. So along the lines of those shows like Sword Art Online, Log Horizon, things of that nature, like those kind of shows that are video game focused, but like you're in another world. Things like Dot Hack is another example for that. Those types of shows. So this is one of them. And this one is really funny. It's more comedic than anything. It's kind of like making fun of isekais in a way also. It's really funny. So if you want a really good laugh and you're a huge fan of isekai shows, I highly recommend that you watch Bofuri. You don't have to say the whole name. Bofuri, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. It's a really long name. Just call it Bofuri. But if you want a nice, really funny adaptation of an isekai, this is great. It's hilarious. I laughed my ass off like every single episode of this show. It's so good. So definitely check out Bofuri. But those are my two recommendations. It's just like I said, it's gonna be really quick. It's just my own like little take. I wanted to give the Dream Doll section a break and cover some of my favorite shows. I didn't put Spy Family on there because I already mentioned how much I love Spy Family in the last episode when we were talking about Dream Dolls. When I was doing like what I think a Dream Doll would look like if they made a Yor or things like that. But yeah, that's just my little Shizusan's anime corner that I wanted to cover with you guys. But that's everything for today's episode. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for coming. Let me bring Supergirl out here. So I know Demi. I don't know if you were here from the beginning, but I did bring out Supergirl earlier. I was in the mood to bring her out because Danny Chu just released Batgirl, and I was like, you know what? A lot of people are on the Batgirl hype, so I'm going to bring out, Supergirl just to be on the whole DC Comics hype for today's episode. So, yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I hope you found this episode informative. I hope you enjoyed it. I know from some of you mentioning in chat that you actually didn't know about some of these different clothing options and accessory options, so I'm glad I opened up your eyes to at least something new in the hobby that you're looking forward to. Oh, Carmen Sahagan, I don't think I said hello. I'm sorry, I just noticed your name there. Hello, Carmen. So yeah, I mean, thank you everybody for coming. I hope you found today's episode really informative and enlightening. Like I said, we'll be having a guest in the next episode for episode 6. So we're going to have a guest talking about 3D printing and doll customization in that nature. So that'll be our guest for episode 6. Please look forward to it. I hope you guys will enjoy that episode. We will be talking about a lot of different things other than 3D printing, but the main focus of the next episode will be 3D printing. So thank you everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the new section of just anime, Shizusan's Anime Corner. It's just something I'm trying out as I want to change like the ending of each episode to something different every now and then, just to keep things fresh. So thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know I said that 20 million times. So for those of you that are in chat, Yoshi Plays, thank you for coming. Faye James, thank you for coming. Jay Louisa, thank you for coming. Batman Demi Jackson, Carmen Sahagan, thank you for coming. Haruhi, thank you for coming. Who else was here that I don't want to forget? Colin Brinko, thank you for coming today's stream. Let's see who else was in here. The my ding dong, thank you for coming. Your name cracks me up, dude. Guillermo Lopez, thank you for coming. So all of you that were here for today's episode, I do appreciate you coming and attending. And for those of you that are watching this at a later date, I hope you found today's episode enjoyable. So that's it for me. I'm your host, Shizusan, and my lovely assistant here, Supergirl, aka Kara. Thank you everybody for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.